Welcome to Midwest Bass Magazine. Last year, Trevor Lowe, through the BASS College Series, qualified for the 2016 Bassmasters Classic. He was kind enough to let me do an interview. Please enjoy what he had to say.
So, how's everything been going?
It's been good. I'm back in school now, so things are getting a little bit busy. Don't have much time to do much fishing.
Okay.
Yeah, but just staying busy.
So I'm going to put you on speakerphone. Is that all right? If it doesn't,
Yep, that's fine.
if it doesn't work, I'll shut it off. Hang on one
Sure.
second.
Yep.
Still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll let you know that you are actually the first person to be interviewed for my new magazine. So.
Okay. Awesome.
We will be putting this article out on the website in January before the Classic, and then my next issue. I only did one issue this year. 3 issues next year, but one comes out in February before the Classic, so I'm going to put this article in that issue.
Okay, sweet.
Cool. Well, first I'd like to say congratulations on going to the Classic.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, just tell me a little about yourself. How'd you get into bass fishing? Were you always a bass fisherman?
I grew up fishing with my dad. He would take me out on a canoe, and we'd just hit local lakes around here in Minnesota in the Twin Cities metro area. And, we started out like crappie fishing, pan fishing, and, occasionally you'd catch a bass. And yeah, that definitely piqued my interest. I would watch the Elite Series guys weigh in at the Classic and during their events on TV and everything like that. And, I always thought it was amazing, as they walk up to the stage, they're getting cheers from the crowd and everything. I was like, wow, it'd be quite the dream to be fishing for a living and have that many fans and that kind of support. So that's how I got started fishing. Then as I grew older, I just started targeting bass more specifically. And as I hit my early teens, I started entering some local tournaments around Minnesota and then worked my way into college.
Cool. So now, are you going to school at U of M?
No, currently I'm not.
Okay. What team did you fish for this past year then?
This past year I was at the U, but I just transferred out, so I'll be taking this next year off.
Okay. So you're originally from the Twin Cities then?
Yes, just a suburb outside of the Twin Cities.
Okay. So I know you're into bass fishing and that, and probably got a good future in that. But what actually was your major in college? What were you going to school for?
I just switched my degree to marketing from fisheries and wildlife. Just because as a professional bass fisherman, you do a lot of marketing. You market your sponsors and your company's fishing products and whatever other products they carry. So I decided to switch my degree in that just so I could learn how to do that better. And not only that, because marketing is such a flexible degree, you could kind of get a job. Your job flexibility is a lot more open than, say, fisheries and wildlife or something more specific.
Right. Neat. Yeah, and that'll help you out if you got a future in bass fishing. That's definitely going to help you out in that aspect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. Well, what do you feel that the mental aspect plays a role in any given tournament?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know you had to prepare for this. This was probably one of your bigger tournaments, the one you just won to go to the Classic. How do you think the mental aspect plays a role in that?
Oh, it's definitely huge because, coming off of the national championship, we had a really tough practice for the national championship tournament where I would say we probably only caught 4 keeper fish throughout practice, and just caught a lot of shorts. A lot of the other college guys were having a really tough time catching fish, and so being able to do as well as we did in nationals definitely helped. And just hearing that point flowage, the body of water underneath Lake Dubé, south of Dubé, was a better fishery according to the other guys who had been practicing on there. It definitely encouraged me, and I just went out there and did what I know how to do, and it paid off. Nice.
So when you correct me now, was it a 2 or 3 day tournament?
the national championship was right before that one.
Right.
And the bracket tournament was a 3-day tournament.
Okay. Then when you went to the final weigh-in, how did you think your chances were?
Oh, I was really stressed because I had no idea how my competitor Josh was doing. I had absolutely no idea, and I had a pretty tough day. That last day was probably my toughest day of fishing out there. I caught my first keeper a little early, but it was pretty quiet right after I caught that keeper for a good 3 or 4 hours, and I lost a giant at the boat that I thought for sure lost me the tournament, because I was assuming that, he's making an hour-long idle up to the dam, north up to the dam. I thought for sure, he's on fish, because why would you make that hour-long trip up there and an hour-long trip back down if you're not catching fish?
Right.
So I was pretty stressed out. I had no idea what he had coming into the weigh-in. But yeah, I just kept on staying as positive as I could, and just kept my head down and just kept on fishing, and it definitely paid out.
Nice.
Paid off, yeah.
Well, so are you more nervous or excited about going to the Classic?
I think I'm more excited than nervous. Just the opportunity to fish the Classic against, childhood dreams is a dream come true in itself. I was saying to a lot of people that I know, it doesn't really matter to me how well I do. I would love to do well, but just being at that event and getting my boat pulled into the stadium, I don't care if I have the smallest fish in the world. I'm going to pull it out of the live well and show it off like it's the biggest fish of my life.
I agree. I agree with you totally in that. Yeah, that would be a dream come true.
Yeah.
So the Classic is at the Grand Ole Lakes, correct, in Oklahoma?
Correct. Yep.
So how do you think that lake's going to set up when you fish it?
Well, the tournament's going to be in March. I'm assuming it's going to be somewhat of a pre-spawn bite. I think the fish are either going to be still sitting out in their deep wintering holes, or else they're going to be just slowly making their way up in that pre-spawn stage, early pre-spawn. The water's probably going to be pretty cold, so we're going to have to fish either deep and finesse or just really slow,
Yeah, I think last time they just had it there, 2-3 years ago, and I think they had a blip right prior to the tournament.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, I wish you all the best that does not happen this time.
Yeah, right on. I'm not really looking forward to being cold while I'm fishing. Never fun.
Let's see here. So, you've fished since you were a kid, and I'm sure you have a lot of experience using different techniques and different baits and whatnot, but do you always have if you don't want to share this, that's fine, but do you always have like a go-to bait, one lure that you always have in the back of your mind that if nothing else is working, you try?
Absolutely. It's that wacky Senko. I don't particularly like to throw it. That bait catches fish so well that I try to avoid using it so that I can be more of a versatile angler.
So wacky Tango?
Wacky Senko.
Oh, Senko. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah.
Yep. And, that happened to be the bait that I won that tournament off of. I was throwing a lot of other stuff, and I was like, they just weren't biting that. So I switched over to a Senko, and they started eating it up. So I was like, okay, I guess we're sticking with this. I went to Gander that night, and I picked up like 4 bags, and I used all of them the next day.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that, when you throw something that you just have trust in, that always works.
Yeah.
So aside from winning this last tournament and getting your Classic berth, what is probably one of your best fishing memories or bass fishing memories?
Oh, it's probably got to go, I believe it was last summer, in August or September. I had just bought my new boat, and we went out to a lake, and I caught my personal best Minnesota bass.
Really?
And it was 6 pounds, 10 ounces, which is a considerably big bass for Minnesota.
Very
nice. Our state record is 8 pounds, 15 ounces. 4s are big up here, 5s are really big, and 6s are kind of far and few in between. So yeah, it was quite the rush. I'd never caught a bass that big in Minnesota, and I was just so jacked. My dad netted the fish for me.
Nice. You were with your dad.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So what was one of your worst memories of fishing? Either be fishing or maybe a tournament memory or something like that?
One of the worst memories was probably this past year. We were down in Kentucky Lake for the FLW College Open tournament.
Okay.
And in the last hour of practice, we hit my lower unit on a flooded house foundation.
Ooh.
And yeah, completely destroyed the lower unit. So we had to fish. It's a 2-day tournament, but we only fished the first day, and we fished with just the trolling motor. And it was a disaster. I mean, it just was so disappointing to know that we drove like 12 hours down there, and practiced hard. And the last hour of practice, we blow the lower unit, and we just couldn't get to our spots because our spots were 45 miles down the river,
Oh, wow. So what is it? And was it a foundation that was there before they created the lake, or?
Yes, I think so. It was a foundation that was probably there, and then as soon as they decided to dam the lake, they they had whoever was living there move back up the bank a little bit so that those creeks could flood out. And I mean, we were in about 8 feet of water, and we had no idea it was there. We had idled past it before, and we were just idling by, and we hit it, and it just, wow, loud bang, and the whole motor just shut off, and yeah, it was not fun. And we're on we're on the east side of the lake in one of the east creeks, and we had to use our trolling motor and troll across the whole main channel.
Oh.
Which is pretty big. I mean, Kentucky Lake is pretty big.
Yeah, I've been across it. I've never fished it, but I've been through there.
Yeah, so I mean, we had to idle the whole thing. It took us like 45 minutes just trolling across. Did you guys boat any fish? Yeah, actually we caught two pretty good ones. We had 2 fish for like 7.5 or something like that. So, I mean, they were decent fish, 3.5 pounders.
So besides that, I mean, have you ever had anything else weird happen on the water? Like I know sometimes, or even myself, thought you tied on a new lure and you toss it overboard and it goes to the bottom.
I think probably the worst thing that's ever happened with me. I was a kid, and we had it was my cousins and my uncles and my dad and I, and we were out on the boat, and we had like maybe 5 of us on like this 14-foot aluminum boat, just pan fishing and everything, and I went to throw my lure out, and I hooked my cousin, like, right under his eye. Where
ouch!
Like, right where, like, if you have bags under your eyes, do you know what I mean? Like, right above your cheek.
Ouch!
I hooked him, I hooked him right there, and it was the worst thing ever. I started crying. I was like 6 or 7, and I felt so bad. And they had to take him to the doctor's office and have them remove it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's probably the worst experience on the water.
I had a friend of mine casting a daredevil once, stuck it into my head.
Ooh. Yeah, it's I'm extremely cautious when it comes to throwing now or having too many people on the boat just because of that incident.
Totally agree.
Mhm.
So obviously there's probably been a few changes in your life already. How has the Classic Bird changed that already?
It's crazy. I'm the first Hmong fisherman to make it to the Classic.
Oh, so I didn't even realize you were that's your Hmong? Okay.
Yep. So I'm of Hmong ethnicity, and
okay.
I'm the first Hmong guy to make it to the Classic, and it's been crazy because, for lack of a better way to say it, or I don't want to sound boastful or anything, it's extremely humbling because I'm almost like a celebrity in the Hmong community.
You'll probably have a lot of people from over here. I live in Eau Claire, and we have a large Hmong community over here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's like everywhere I go, I get people do double takes on me. Do you know what I mean?
Cool. Well, that's neat.
They do double takes. Some people come up and ask me, "Hey, are you Trevor Lowe?" It's like, "Yeah, that's me." And they ask for pictures and such and such. So, but it's extremely humbling to know that I have the support of the Hmong community, and I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything. And they're great people, and I'm just so thankful for all of them.
Nice. So what's your future? What's your plans in for after the Classic? You gonna fish the Opens or the Elites, or continue with smaller Open tournaments? Or?
Yeah, I'm looking to fish all the Opens and have school off so that I have time to fish the Opens, and hopefully from there qualify for the Elites. And if I can qualify for the Elites, I'll probably stick with that. If I don't qualify for the Elites in my first year, I'll probably go back and just finish up the last year of school that I have, and probably fish tournaments on the side.
Okay.
Mhm.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a Christian. I believe that Jesus Christ died for my sins, and He is the only way that I can be forgiven of my sins. And I'm just so thankful for the grace that He's shown me in allowing me to fish and qualify for the Classic. So everything I do for His glory.
Okay. Nice. Very nice.
Mhm.
Well, Trevor, I appreciate you giving me this time.